Singapore may be a land-scarce country, but that doesn't mean we can't grow our own food. Singapore has set the target of producing 30% of our nutritional needs by 2030. That goal is called 30 by 30. In these episodes, we will be exploring farms that grow local produce that you can find at our supermarkets. Today we are at Comcrop. It's Singapore's first rooftop farm, and we are going to meet Darren, who is the manager of the Education and Community Outreach. He'll be showing us around and sharing with us the farming process that they are using, which is hydroponic farming. So let's go.
Because we are so heavily built up and we have so little land that's allocated for farming, making use of rooftop spaces and other underutilized spaces really makes sense. The benefit of rooftop is that with adequate sunlight and enough spacing, actually you can get a lot done. We're still using hydroponics. You have a big tank of a reservoir where all the nutrients and everything is. A lot of people have this idea that when you're growing without soil, it's artificial.
Okay.
Actually, what's really happening is that when you grow in a system like this, you are replicating and using a lot of the same nutrients that are happening in nature. Elements, for example, like your nitrogen, your potassium, your phosphorus and your calcium. These are things that you typically find in soil anyway.
Yeah.
Just that here we give the right mix. With the right mix, right nutrition, right people, right? Then you grow well. Try to minimize waste, really, because I think especially in resource-scarce Singapore, you are very, very concerned about whatever you're using. So even like, for example, the nutrients that we use, the excess flows back down and it goes back into the reservoir, and this cycles. So eventually the goal is to be able to grow a huge spectrum of crops, because when you talk about food security, it's not just about leafy vegetables, right? The reason why we grow a lot more leafy vegetables at this point is because in terms of food security, leafy vegetables are the one most at risk. The moment your supply is disrupted, you only have about a week or so before your current supply starts to go bad. You can't put a price on food security. In case of disruptions and things like that, your local farm is always there, right? Everybody maybe they eat a little bit less, but there's always vegetables and always food. So that's the ultimate goal, I think, to replicate this model all across Singapore.
We are back in the kitchen again. Today we are going to be using some local produce from Comcrop, which are the Japanese chaising, green emerald lettuce, basil, and some pea sprouts from Kenyan Agrotech. Today's dish will be making salad with spiced tempeh and peanut sauce. So let's get started. The first thing we're doing is we will be using stale bread as croutons. Tear this up into pieces. Add some salt, pepper, drizzle olive oil. Give it a good toss, and then we're gonna put it in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. Next, we're gonna slice up the vegetables and put it in a bowl. Then you can add your basil. Here's a fun tip. If you want to add more oomph, that punch and burst of flavors to your cucumber, you can pickle it. Next, we're gonna make the peanut sauce. So in here, I've already mixed some soy sauce. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour it in the peanut butter jar together with some lime and give it a good shake. That's it. If you prefer it to be slightly of a watery consistency, you can add more water. Yep, sounds about right. Okay, that's it. Peanut sauce is done, the salad is done, the croutons are done. Now all I'm going to do is assemble it together. I've got some pomegranate that I want to add on. Give it a good mix and it's ready to go. So here we have it. It is the salad with spiced tempeh and peanut sauce, where most of the greens are locally produced. One of the reasons I love to support the local farms is freshness. From farm to supermarket to table, it will reach you in such a short time because it's just here, locally produced. So the next time you head to the supermarket, look for locally grown produce.